Hi, I'm Bill Doherty, and I want to welcome the viewers to another edition of Bill's Bullpen. Bill's Bullpen is a program that's intended to give folks some idea of what's going on locally and in the region. And with me today is my good friend Jeff Boeder, who is the commander?
The commander, yes,
Commander of the local Amvets. Now, let's start off. Amvets, it's an acronym. What does it mean?
American Veterans. The Amvets was first established as the American Veterans of World War II. But of course, we've progressed. Then it went American Veterans of World War II in Korea, then Vietnam, and then really we've just stopped adding things on after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all inclusive of all veterans, of any period of service.
Okay, well, in addition to being available for veterans, I think you have one unusual piece in the Amvets program in that you invite non-veterans to become members. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what is the reason for that?
Well, twofold. Veterans who, non-veterans who come into our place, they know veterans, and so that's a connection right there. So everyone knows a veteran, and if that person who is not a veteran then brings a veteran in, then that's another opportunity for us to recruit and get that veteran on our rolls and increase membership. So that's a good way of networking within our patronage to get other veterans to come in, and once they come in, then we can get talk membership.
Okay.
Secondly, it helps our bottom line. I'll be honest with you. We have a bar. We have a nice operating bar.
We do? And where is that?
It is located at 336 Palmer Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much right next to the Steamship Authority. So if you go down into Falmouth on 28, between Seafood Sam's and the Steamship Authority is the red building that is Amvets Post 70.
Okay, and that red building, by the way, stands out, and I know that there's a friendly open sign out front of it. And after somebody has had a good lunch or dinner at Seafood Sam's, they could come over, join us, and find out what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We tried to make the sign more welcoming. We've got some other things in progress.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do a few things to make us more inviting,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do that through several ways. We have a GoFundMe page.
A GoFundMe page?
Yeah, a GoFundMe page. So the GoFundMe is intended to improve the exterior of our building. It's old. I'm not sure when it's all cedar shingles, and I don't know when the shingles were installed. They're painted. The paint is chipping. A lot of them are curling. So we were looking at doing a simple paint job of it, but we started the GoFundMe page to raise a larger amount of funds so we could do a really needed renovation.
And that would make it a more welcoming place, for veterans, to come, because I don't think that veterans or anybody would want to come to the equivalent of a dive bar.
Right, and that's what we're trying to get away from. The goal is to make us more with the Cape Cod color scheme, more appealing to the eye. Although red is a color of the Amvets shield,
Mm-hmm.
in the shield, we're just going to update our building and make it have a better roadside appearance.
Well, one of the things that, in terms of reaching out to the non-veteran community, is that when I was on active duty, you were deployed from a base, and you went back to a base, and everybody that you knew what you were all about. Today, a very small percentage of people are actually in what I'd call the regular Army forces. 40% of the force is actually reserve, and what happens is you leave from a neighborhood and you come back to a neighborhood. Now, Barnstable County instituted a program where they discovered that the children of veterans who had been deployed in the most recent activities were feeling very pretty much at a loss and feeling very insecure because they didn't see their parents coming to events, and the reason they didn't see them was that they were deployed. So the county came up with a special recognition program for the kids where they gave them backpacks and school supplies and things like that, and asked basically for the rest of the kids to honor the kids who had their parents deployed,
Okay.
so that they could, they could get a better appreciation of what's going on. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where we'll accomplish the mission that that Ronald Reagan and his predecessors used to talk about, where we were peacekeepers and not necessarily engaged and involved in nation building, but just deployed when it was appropriate. Now, talk a little bit about some of the national programs of Amvets.
So some of the national programs of Amvets, they have some priorities for the current Congress. One of the things is they want to introduce legislation that would help drive down a notable decrease in veteran suicide. And another thing they would like to do is introduce legislation to improve women's veterans overall care. They think it's an underserved part of the veteran population. Another avenue is, this is actually important because we're a 50C319 nonprofit organization, and they want to introduce legislation that would allow tax-deductible donations to the 501c319 nonprofits.
They don't allow that now?
No, it's something I didn't realize until I did some looking into it. It's just the way that we were congressionally chartered in 1947. Just one of the points of the public law was that we weren't allowed charitable contributions, which handcuffs us compared to other nonprofit organizations.
Oh, do the Elks and the Eagles and the Moose get?
It depends on what their U.S. code is, what their status is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense that an organization that was supporting veterans, would have that support. I know that there's some other organizations that have mixed reviews, like Wounded Warriors and things like that. And perhaps. I guess I've been told that that if you contribute to those organizations, it is something you can deduct. Well, good luck with that. So next thing, if any of let's say if Keating, if you're watching, you ought to pay attention to that. Keating does live here. Okay, he used to live in Quincy. Now he lives in Bourne.
Okay, good.
So maybe I'll see him at church, and I'll boost him if I see him.
Okay.
But in any case, if he gets the word, this is something to work on, because we certainly want to support our veterans in what I would call a positive, supportive way, and give them the opportunity to carry on the work that they do. I think you left out something on the National Amvets program. Don't they support ROTC?
They do.
And by the way, I'm a ROTC grad, so I would
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
On the national level and even at the state and post level, they offer scholarships for students, and they also offer scholarships for ROTC students. Absolutely. It's something our post hasn't been able to do lately, but it's on the list of things that we're going to tackle during my tenure as commander. Okay,
well, one of the things that you have in your history, and it was kind of interesting to me when you told me about it, was your participation in the annual Christmas parades. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, this is really a highlight for Amvets because Amvets went through a lot of struggles over the years. Our highest interest period was post World War II, Korea, Vietnam even. Really high numbers of people participating in the post, and then we had a steady decline, and there were several factors involved in the steady decline. And now we're on the way back up. One of the things that we thought we should do was get involved. One of the ways that we got involved in the community was to enter the Falmouth Christmas Parade, the annual Christmas Parade. And so we decided if we're going to go big. So for 2 consecutive years, we won Best of Parade.
Tell me a little bit about what the float looked like.
So the first year, we were pulled by Clover Paving.
Okay.
Clover Paving pulled us. And we had a large trailer. We had kids on board. I don't recall the theme, but I don't recall the theme of the first year, but it was fantastic. We had a DJ on board, we had a snow machine going, and we had by far the longest trailer in the parade, and it was really fantastic. And so we won best of parade that year. And so and then the next year we engaged it. It was I believe it was Fabulous Falmouth was the, or
Oh, yeah, I
something to do
remember
with
that, yeah.
And so what we did is we recreated the town square, the green over by the Chamber of Commerce area, in that small area, and then we asked local companies or local businesses if they would sponsor a sign, and we had a model of downtown Falmouth, and it was bigger and better than the previous year, and then we won best of parade, and I think it's the President's Award or something like that, which is the top award. So we won that. So we had those trophies proudly displayed on our mantle. And so when you win the top award, the next year you're the float that carries Santa Claus. So the third year that we were involved, it was you can't win any awards when you carry Santa Claus. And so we were a little bit lower scale the last time that we were involved. But 2021 Christmas parade, we're going to be fighting for the best of parade again. I guarantee you that.
Well, I hope the folks heard that, and they're going to try you out on it. No question about
We're
it.
looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to hearing what the theme is, because we've got some good float builders. The ladies of Amvets do great work in decorating it, and it's just a fun event for everyone. And then we all go back to Amvets and have some food, and a couple drinks, and enjoy what we just accomplished.
Well, I think that's something certainly to look forward to. And by the way, if somebody is interested, this is what the Amvets application looks like, and they are available at the Amvets. And the class of membership for non-veterans, I think, it's called a Patriot membership?
Patriot membership.
Okay. And we certainly encourage people, let's say, to look at that. As a matter of fact, I guess I was having a drink over there, and somebody came in and wanted to know, how they could get more involved. So there is some interest in the community, and I certainly would not discourage that. Now, I believe that Amvets is that the only group in Falmouth? I know American Legion has a group in Bourne and in Sandwich. Okay.
We are the last remaining veterans post in Falmouth.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and as far as Amvets go, there are no other Amvets posts on the Cape as far as
I believe there are.
Oh, there are?
Further out
Okay.
on the Cape. I think maybe in Dennis, Brewster area perhaps. I think there's other posts, but we are the only veterans post left in Falmouth. The VFW's gone.
Okay.
They've all closed their doors. So we're fighting against the tide is what we're doing.
Well, actually, the VFW is not closed. They're still open in Bourne.
Right, but in Falmouth.
In
Yeah,
Falmouth,
yes,
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm a life member of the VFW.
And I am a life member of the VFW Auxiliary, okay, because although I was deployed to Germany for 3 years, it was nobody was shooting at me, so I guess that didn't qualify me to be a member. But in any case, yeah, I am a life member of the Auxiliary. Okay. And by the way, all of those organizations have a single unifying purpose, and which is to support the needs of veterans. Now, let's go over the laundry list of things that we need to look at as far as where veterans need support. What would you say is the primary thrust of what we want to do locally for Amvets?
Locally for Amvets, let me preface this by saying the staff at Amvets is all part-time. The executive committee, everyone has a full-time job, so we are part-time volunteers, non-paid volunteers to be executive committee members. So with that said, we're kind of limited on the services that we can provide. The Amvets national organization, they have national service officers, which are available to help counsel any veteran in any matter. You reach out to an NSO, you will get the help you need.
Okay, now how can somebody access that? Is there a phone number?
Amvets.org.
Amvets.org?
Yeah, that's I have the Amvets national number in my cell phone,
No, okay, but the main
Amvet's
thing
done.
is, if you have access to the internet, and everybody does, even if they don't have a personal internet connection, they can go to the library. All the libraries have that connection, and they can connect with Amvets and get, and get in touch with counselors.
Absolutely. And so on the local level, if we have an individual, and we've had this recently in the past, an individual comes in, and a lot of veterans don't realize that they're eligible for VA benefits. So we've had several individuals come in within the last year, since we reopened after the pandemic, or since we reopened during COVID. We've had several people come in and ask for help. And we will certainly not turn anyone away. We have our First Vice is pretty well versed on the VA webpage. I'm a little bit versed on it, not as much as the First Vice, who is our primary help on that. So if anyone walks in the door with any issue, whether it be homelessness, thoughts of suicide, we will not turn any veteran away. And even the non-veterans who may be at the post as guests, will not turn anyone away. We will make sure that person is taken care of with the resources they need.
And I might point out, to the audience in general, that if you do call into the VA from anywhere, one of the questions they ask you is, if you're having an emergency, call 911. If you're having thoughts of suicide, they will give you a number, or they will transfer the call to a counselor immediately, so you can have some support. So there is that, and people, I guess, have to be aware of it. And also, you can call, or on the internet, call 211, which is another general number that you can call to get assistance, and that of course goes for both veterans and non-veterans alike. Okay, so let's see. We've talked a little bit about some of the needs to refurbish the building and keep that in shape so it's a place where people want to go. I don't think we're going to make it to a Cheers, where everybody knows your name, but I have found out that it is a very friendly place, and people do enjoy going there. Some of the what I'd call activities, although I'm not much of a pool player, there is a pool. Talk a little bit about the pool tournament that you ran. I believe we had, before my time here, I've been on the Cape 6 years. Before my time, I believe we had a pool table, and that went away years ago. And so again, fighting against the tide, we finally got a pool table back into the post. And it's been a hit ever since. And everyone, even the ladies, like to shoot pool. Are you kidding? I was watching one woman the other day, and she was wiping up the floor with this guy. I'm saying, oh my God, I wonder what kind of a youth she spent.
So it's been very popular. So we put together a couple of pool tournaments in the past. I think it's a 16 person field, and we play. After hours, 5 p.m. to allow everyone to work, and then come in. We do a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday is the championship round. And we ask for a donation, and everyone donates, and then we split the pot amongst the top 3 or 4 winners, top 4 winners. So, it's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of bragging rights involved in that, because a lot of regular pool shooters there. So, one of our executive committee members, in fact, won it last time. So I think we'll look at our next one probably in the fall, when once we get past the summer season, we'll host another one and have some fun with that.
Well, there you go, folks. It's something to look forward to and participating in. It's one of those equal opportunities. If you show up and you're willing to spend the time there, it's so. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it's not all serious and what I'd call life-threatening kinds of things. That people do like to have fun, and I believe that one of the ways of getting people's attention is to have things to do that people enjoy doing, and then that way it sort of increases and restores some of the fellowship that we all enjoyed when we were, serving, because that was perhaps one of the most important lessons that I learned as to how you can become close to somebody in a short period of time. Nothing does it for you like being in the service, 'Cause you don't have any choice,
Absolutely.
number one.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have friends, I joined the service in 1984, and I'm still friends with a lot of those people from 1984 and on.
Well, I believe you're still sort of connected with the military.
I am. I'm actually full-time out at Joint Base Cape Cod. I'm with the 102nd Intelligence Wing.
No, that isn't an oxymoron, right? Military intelligence.
Right.
Yeah.
We are the 102nd Intelligence Wing.
Mhm.
Formerly a fighter wing, now we're intelligence. We have 2 intelligence groups out there. My job, I run the deployments office. It's primarily the deployments office. So we still do regular rotations overseas, and I'm the superintendent, the logistics plan superintendent.
Well, logistics are very important. That was an S4 for a while, and I understand how important it is. At least I used to try to emphasize that to people. It's, they used to give me crap about it, but that's that's another story.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Logistics is what will win a war for you, or lose a war for you.
That's right, exactly right.
Yes.
In the same way playing football, it's your defense that wins your game. It's not the offense, But anyway, so, okay, so let's see, what have we covered? You can have, you can be involved to, let's say, to participate and directly help veterans. You can give them guidance. You can, say, connect them to veterans, let's say what I call veterans service organizations. There are 2 on the Cape, I believe. They're both in Hyannis, and they have different names, but basically they're on the same street.
Right.
And you had some things you wanted to cover. I want to make sure we do that.
Well, just to name a couple, Bill, there's Heroes in Transition, Home Base, Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center, and the Falmouth Military Support Group. So a lot of these agencies do have the full-time staff who are better suited than us to handle certain issues, but like I said, we will never turn a veteran away.
Okay, but the point is, you have connections with these other organizations that have what I'd call informed and direct services to support veterans. So that being the case, we can be a clearinghouse, so to speak, to help guide veterans to get to what they need. And I think the importance of the outreach to non-veterans is to make people more aware of, let's say, of both the mission and the stress that veterans go through. I think it's essential that that we understand that a very small percentage of the population is engaged and involved with military service, and unless you have somebody in service, you really don't. You don't pay what I'd call attention to let's say to what's involved. You watch television and you see some of the deployments. They talk about bringing people back and then sending them away again. You just hope we get to a point where we have a lot of conversation and what I'd call less engagement. So it will keep us in play and keep us in the role of what I was told I was supposed to be doing when I was on active duty, which is to be a peacekeeper, and not a warmonger. Okay, so as we kind of wind down on this, what are the connections that we have to other veterans organizations, both on the Cape and nationally?
We reached out to the VFW in Bourne a while back. They supported us. We did a meat raffle out there, and so we're looking to engage them a little bit more, and maybe get some dual post activities going that benefit us both and benefit the veteran. Definitely will do that. That's a very well-run post in Bourne here.
You do anything with the American Legion?
Not at the moment. However, I am an American Legion member also.
As am I, life member.
So, as commander, I'm a newly elected commander. This is again how we're going to do some community outreach through veterans organizations and through just local organizations, non-veteran organizations. We've recently joined the Chamber of Commerce. We're trying to get our feelers out on that to get more community involvement. Because there's veterans in every facet of work out there. And a lot of them are Cold War veterans that may be eligible for a VA benefit that they're not even aware of. So once we get our community outreach moving a little bit further, that's who we want to get. We want to get the members who were perhaps Cold War service members, engage them, try to get them in, join the membership of the local Amvets post, because in the national level is where it counts. And Amvets is currently at 250,000 members. So if every post, I believe we're represented in almost all 50 states. If we we have to keep our numbers steady, and then we have to make them grow for our impact for the veteran up at the federal level.
Okay, there's going to be a national convention of Amvets. I think that's in August.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is that something that anybody from our post is going to?
I am not able to make it. I would have to get with the other board.
Okay, but in any case, that is an opportunity. And even if we don't go, there is usually minutes and reports from that would support, I'd call local, both efforts on a national as well as a local level, as far as that part of it goes. Believe it or not, we're almost at the end of this, so I would ask you to think about what is the main takeaway that you want to have folks from talking about Amvets.
I would like every veteran that I come across at least to consider joining a veterans post. They may not. We have a bar. They may not want to come sit at the bar, but it's not about coming to the bar and having a cold beer. It's about joining an organization that represents your interests, whether you think they apply to you at this moment or not. It's the strength in numbers that we have to get. And so the goal is to, every veteran that we come across, at least make them aware of Amvets, and have them make a decision. And with the recruiting pamphlet, that helps. We got these from the national level. That's what we want to do. We want to make contact with as many veterans as possible. And we're finding out as people get to an advanced age, then they realize, well, maybe I do need the VA, because the VA is a great resource. And unless you apply for VA benefits, you're shut out, you're a veteran. But you have to at least engage the VA, and we're here to help with that. So I want all veterans to know that they should consider joining a veterans organization.
Well, I think that's very important, Jeff, and I think that as far as getting the message out there, it is important that in unity there is strength, and in numbers there is even more strength. So it's important that we recognize that. And I will say from my own experience in getting VA benefits, you have to be persistent, and the earlier you apply, the better off you are. So with that, I want to thank the viewers. I want to thank Jeff for coming and talking about Amvets, and I want to thank folks that they've now learned a little bit more about what Amvets do. And you have been watching another edition of Bill's Bullpen, a production of Born TV.